Hi everyone, hope you're all well. I decided today I was going to take a look at another one of the Mechwarrior Online maps. Now, yes, this isn't a new map, this one's, already been in the game, but decided as I did one, I'm going to do them all. Realistically, I'll probably spend more time on new maps as they come out, because I dare say they're going to be the ones you guys are going to be more interested in. But for those of you that are new to the game and haven't really played it much, or just want to see some of the maps before you step into them, I figured I'd have a look. And this is another CW map, Community Warfare map, and it's called Emerald Taiga or something equally odd. I like this map, but I feel it may be a little bit not big. I don't think there's such a thing as a map that's too big in this game. In fact, I think they're all too small, even Alpine Peaks. But I don't like the fact that there's sections in it that you can't actually manoeuvre through, as I'll show you. So this is the base where you either be attacking or defending. Those two spikes you see over there that look like Gauss rifles are the cannon that you would have to destroy as the final objective. Let's get around there so you can have a look. I'm going to take a shortcut if I can. There we go. There's your cannon.
Fuel at 25%.
So this would be your final objective if you were attacking, is be to zap whatever's in the back of this. And it's quite nice in many ways. It's certainly I like the colours and the atmosphere of it. You'll find that most teams, if they're pushing through, will push through one of two main areas. Let me get to it. We'll start with this one. What they tend to do, and this is from playing quite a few CW matches, they'll mass up out here somewhere where this little fella is, but not out in the open like that. They'll either go left or right, and they'll push through en masse, go zooming up through here, fighting as they go if needs be, but generally just pushing through, and then they'll zap the generators that they counter up here right the way around, and then that way they'll probably get crushed etc by the defenders, and then they'll form up again, but that time they'll come through the opposite door, which I'll show you in a second, and repeat the same thing on the other side. Then they'll tend to do one of two things, or three things really. They'll either farm kills for a while to pad their score etc, and then push for Amiga, which is the cannon, destroy that, win the game. Or they'll decide to go for the complete kill with victory by destroying all mechs of the opposition, in which case they'll push through and go and count the spawn points. Now, it's a tactic that yes is valid, but I don't particularly think it's sporting, to be honest. Yes, it's perfectly fair enough if you can do it, and people say, oh, it's the other team's fault if you were unable to kick them off your drop zone, but that can be quite tricky, let's be honest, especially if you're facing a pre-made and you're in a group of pugs that aren't necessarily communicating particularly well, or are new to the game in trial mechs, because it happens, everyone starts somewhere. Oh god, I really do not like this mislinks layout. I'm going to change the weapon config on this. This is the other gate I was on about. They'll mass up out here sometimes. I mean, they can start from either side, they don't always start on that far side, they might start at this side. I've yet to see a group split, do a split push where 6 go one way, 6 go the other. I mean, I'm sure it's happened, it's just I've not personally witnessed it in a game yet. I say yet, because it could happen. Yes, they go zap, 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 blast all the turrets, all the generators, etc.
Fuel at 25%. Fuel at 0%.
Lurking around here, zapping anything they need to zap as they go, turrets, etc. And finally, go for the kill and go for the cannon, which is there. But like I say, a lot of the time they just tend to stand out in the middle of, get themselves some cover, etc., and just farm people down. for a bit, then push the cannon. Or like I say, they come charging through here using all this cover best they can, get to wherever the spawn points are and start annihilating people as they drop in, which has happened to me. They didn't defeat me that way because I tend to run pretty brawly loadouts for CW, and if I think I'm in a situation where I'm going to be dropping into quite a few of the opposing team, I have some very nasty short range brawly type mechs that work great in a situation like that. You can certainly push enough of them off or down to be able to facilitate your team some kind of recovery and kick them out of your drop zone enough to be able to try and form up, but more often than not, by the time that happens, depending on who you're with, e.g. new people, trial mechs, etc., they can have effectively have won the game anyway, just simply due to the fact that there's not enough of you left to really mount
Fuel
a proper
at 25%. Fuel
defense,
at 0%.
especially if they've managed to take a couple of pilots completely out of the game by destroying all the mechs they've got available. I've seen that happen a few times as well. Just giving you guys a bit of a look round some of the edges of the map that you might not necessarily see depending on how the games go for you. And obviously if you end up playing a lot of defensive games, you might not see out here much unless you're in a defensive team that decides the best way of defending is to go out there and kick their asses and try and spawn camp them, which I've seen done, and it's quite successful. It can be quite effective. Again, I don't really like camping spawn points personally, regardless of which side of the coin you're on, be it defensive or attacking, but it happens unfortunately. Though I'm hoping they can do something to fix that situation in upcoming maps and or patches. As you can see, it's a nice map, but it's not particularly big. I would personally like it if they did make them a touch bigger, especially given the number of mechs in the game, because it does get quite difficult, especially if you get two brawly teams, because the team I'm part of, Restless Adders, tend to be quite brawly, and as such you end up with 24 mechs in a very small space, everyone trying to kick 7 bells out of each other, and you end up with a lot of friendly fire.
At 25%.
And you end up with a lot of opportunities where you've not taken a shot, because if you do, you're going to clean up one of your own teammates, and it doesn't go down too well, as you'd imagine. So yeah, it's quite a nice map. That's the first gate that I approached earlier. That'll be the second gate over there. So as you can see, it's not tiny, the map. It's got plenty of cover, but it does tend to channel you down certain points, as you can see, which is kind of nice for having like killing zones, etc. But I don't know. I'm sure many of you disagree with me about this map and love it, but it does feel a bit small when I'm playing it. I admit it does feel a bit small. It's nice that in a way that they've got these big mountains, because that breaks up LRM usage, but to be fair, a lot of the high comp teams, etc. won't touch LRMs. Perfectly viable weapon, but if people are using all the radar, derp mods, etc., modules, etc., then obviously
Fuel
it's
at
going to be pretty useless
25%.
anyway. Take another look around here.
Fuel at 25%. Fuel at 0%.
This is a section of the map I've never actually run around in. Again, it is very pretty. I like all the greens, and I like another map I'll be doing at some point, which I loathe, even though it is extremely pretty. I don't find the clutter in this one to be too bad. as in you can generally see what you're doing, and of course you've got this mode as well, which is quite useful for thinning it out even further. Yeah, I would like to see them make some
New target acquired.
larger maps. Like, I mean, I quite like Alpine Peaks, but that, as I'll detail when I get to that map, that tends to break down to everybody fighting in one particular place, which gets a bit dull after a while, as I'm sure many of you more experienced players will agree with me on that one. We're back here again. So I'm trying to give you guys a decent look round on the map without not spoiling it for you as such, but you know, telling you, oh, this is how it should be played, etc. Because obviously you can play this any damn way you want, to be honest. I've just detailed some of the ways that I've seen it played, for better or for worse, because not always do the pushes work, etc. Again, it comes down really to teamwork, really. If you're in a good team, be it a pug or
Fuel
a
at 25%.
full unit team, chances are you're going to win. Admittedly, it gets more tricky if you're using a load of trial mechs, because we all know they're not optimised, but that's kind of not the point, is it? So yeah, I'm going to end it here with a quick look round again. It's a nice map. Not my favourite, but it's certainly certainly better than some of the earlier maps. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I will be doing more, and obviously I'm not going to go too mad on these older maps, simply because a lot of them are old news now, and you know, you guys have probably had countless matches on these, but obviously for some of the newer guys these may be helpful, and I'll do more detailed things on the new maps as and when they come out, and obviously the redo of maps when they actually do the original 3. Thank you all for your time, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye for now.